Today's podcast is sponsored by Hearable, the book reading subscription for people who are too lazy to read by themselves or simply too much of a dullard to know how. When you take out a Hearable subscription, a peasant will follow you around as you get on with your business. No, not that sort of business. And they will read a book to you while you work. Hearable offers a wide selection of more than 6 books, including The Half-Life of Cheese by C.J. Cheddar, The Importance of Being Important by Lord Bunting of Lee, Adventures in Crop Rotation by Jess Frimlington, Candles and Their Uses by James Lucerne, Memoirs of a Blanket Weaver by Amelia Textual, the best-selling Tale of Two Mid-Sized Towns by Charles Spiggins, and that's the entire library. Hearable is only 3 groats every full moon.
All the tabletop role-playing news, we aim to amuse and we aim to enthuse. And Morris's unofficial tabletop RPG.
Hello, and welcome to Morris's unofficial tabletop RPG talk. I am Morris, aka Russ, or Russ, aka Morris, and with me today is
Peter Coffey from the Southampton Guild Roleplayers. As ever, I'm absolutely amazed, delighted, astounded even to be here, but I will say it's very, very hot.
And you'd much rather be at that barbecue you've just left.
I would much rather be at a barbecue. That's how dedicated I am, listeners, to your delight and listening pleasure. I have voluntarily left a barbecue to drive over here so I could record this most amazing of podcasts.
Yes.
That's right.
And then you're going back to the barbecue.
That's right.
Yeah. Fair enough. I can't really argue with that decision.
Yeah.
I'll be meeting Sharon in the pub, I imagine.
Excellent choice. It's a lovely sunny day. It's something like, 27, 28 degrees outside, which is pretty hot in a country with no air
About the
conditioning.
same as the temperature of the sun, I think, isn't it?
Yeah, it's like...
Give or take.
I mean, it depends on whether you're in the shade or not. It's like, I believe outside the shade it may actually be hotter than the sun. Some might say this flies in the face of all the laws of known physics. I say these people would be right, but that's not how it feels right now.
Right then, shall we do some RPG news?
I think we RPG should.
Okay, let's RPG the news. The RPG that... Oh, fuck. I'm not going to run away with this joke because it's just not working.
It's okay. Sometimes you just have to experiment these things.
Okay then. So, last week we reported that Eberron had just been announced.
Yeah.
And over the last week, some more details have come in.
Ooh.
Exciting details. First thing is that cover...
Yeah.
That was splashed all over the internet.
Oh, yes, of a lady with some sort of strange fox.
Yeah. So this cover appeared.
Yes.
On the Amazon webpage.
Yes.
On the Wizards of the Coast product announcement page.
Yes.
All across the top header graphics on their press release page.
Yes.
So everywhere you looked, there was this cover.
Yes.
And then it got quite a lot of negative feedback.
Oh. Well, it's a picture of, I don't know, some person with a sort of strange fox thing on, and
with wings, some winged thing.
Winged fox, yeah.
On her shoulder. But I actually quite liked it.
Yeah, it's alright.
I didn't quite get the pushback from it. But anyway, whatever. So I quite liked it.
I will say it doesn't look like any of the other Eberron covers I've seen.
But it does look like a cover, because it is if you see the full image, it stretches out and there's landscape going off to the left and stuff, so it's like a proper wraparound thing.
Oh, nice. Full wraparound for the book. Nice, yeah.
But Jeremy Crawford from Wizards of the Coast went onto Twitter to tweet that is not, in fact, the cover. It's just a placeholder.
Oh, so they did their big press release on all their channels of communication and used a placeholder cover?
Yeah.
Oh, well, I'm sure that seems perfectly reasonable.
Okay, so I don't know what the real cover's mean. They did show us the limited edition cover.
Oh, yeah.
Have you seen that one?
I don't think I have. What's it look like?
Allow me to investigate for you. Let me call it up.
Eberron cover is just a placeholder, perhaps?
I think that will just show that one.
Yeah.
So that's the full... Do you see what I mean? There's stuff going off in the background there.
It's sort of got a... what's it? Avengers Infinity War? What's the last one called? Do you remember? The Avengers where they have like stuff coming out of like circles.
Endgame.
Avengers Endgame, of course it is. Yeah, so it's sort of got a bit of that with those craft coming out of holes and thing.
I mean, the cover artist for that, or well, the artist for that, whether or not he's now the cover artist, but it does say under there, where can I buy it? It says, Grab an alternate cover designed by Vance Kelly,
Yeah.
Mordenkainen's Tome of Foes alternate cover, through game stores, or pick up a standard cover by Ben Oliver,
Oh, yeah.
Curse of Strahd, Tomb of Annihilation.
Yeah.
So that's Tomb of Annihilation's cover.
Yeah, no,
And that's Curse of Strahd. Yeah, I mean, you know what they look like, but
they
you
seem
know,
perfectly reasonable.
yeah. And this is the same artist again.
Yeah.
So then, if we look at the special edition cover, that I do rather like.
Okay, I've got to say that is a much better cover. It's nothing against the first one. It's just if you're going to be playing an Eberron game, there are certain expectations. Like you're playing across a really huge city. It's very urban. You want that pulp feel. You've got a flying ship flying through a ring. You've got like noir. It's sort of got very dark and the sun setting, so it's really atmospheric. So yeah, I'm loving all that brass on the front cover. So yeah, and that is in keeping with the colour scheme of the special editions that I've seen. Yeah. So yeah, it's nice.
Yeah. So yeah, great podcast material. This talking about a cover, but we'll put a link in the show notes as always, and then you can hop along there and take a look for yourself.
Talk about not one but two covers. How exciting!
I know, it's the best. But that wasn't the only bit of news about Eberron.
Bum, bum, bum.
We also found out what races will be in Eberron.
Yes, they promised a load of races.
Yes.
I know they have shifters and changelings, and I want to say Kalashtar, which I think are sort of a spooky psychic elf. Shifters being sort of vaguely werewolf-esque, and changelings being essentially doppelgangers.
I can give you the full list.
Yeah.
So this again from Jeremy Crawford.
Yes.
There's 8 races in there.
Excellent.
Official versions of the previous playtest races are the Warforged, Changelings, Kalashtar, and Shifters.
Yep. I've seen changelings and shifters in play, and in fact Warforged as well. One of the people in our Eberron game was playing a mechanical artificer, so exciting stuff.
And we also have Goblins, Bugbears, Hobgoblins, and Orcs.
Okay. It'll be interesting to see what their take on orcs is, because the ones in Volo's Guide to Monsters, which would be for the Faerun setting, they're just worse than regular half-orcs.
Well, Jeremy Crawford did in fact comment on that very subject.
Did he?
He said,
Yes.
he's been saying that a lot, he said, the playable orc in Eberron is different from the orc in Volo's Guide to Monsters.
Good.
The playable goblinoids in Eberron use the same traits as the ones in Volo's.
Okay, so they kept the good bits, like the goblin bonus action to dash and disengage and so forth.
Presumably, yeah.
And they said, actually, maybe a -2 to intelligence and a deeply mediocre reaction. Maybe not what we want for a playable character.
Well, I guess we'll find out when the book comes out.
Yeah.
Unless they do some kind of preview.
Yeah, so in case it just turns out those were placeholder races. I believe that's 5 points to my game of Conversational Assassins. Marvellous. Podcast derailed successful.
Oh god, there's a tear coming out my eye there.
Oh, I thought you poured me a glass of water. Apparently I've got a pint of bitch juice here. Refreshing.
That was very, very well timed. I'll give you my compliments, sir.
Oh, thank you. That's most kind. Right.
Oh, God, right. Okay. Compose myself. So, you know, it wasn't even that funny.
Well, you've got the podcast now consists of nothing but 85 minutes of us laughing at a terrible, terrible joke.
Okay. So then Greg Tito
Yes.
over at Wizard of the Coast.
Yes.
He did a stream, a live stream.
Oh, yes.
I didn't see it live, but I've seen reports of it afterwards.
Well, does he work in Seattle?
Yes.
Yeah,
That's why I didn't see
I think
it.
you know why we don't see it live, yeah.
So it's like 2 o'clock in the morning or something.
Yeah.
So he showed some bits and pieces off about the Eberron book. So he showed the back of the cover.
Oh, yeah. That's the back of the special edition cover.
The special edition cover, yeah. He mentioned that the Artificer
Yes.
has 3 subclasses, although he didn't name them.
Okay.
He mentioned that the group patrons were the thing that excited him. He used the example of a team working for a university.
Oh yes. I think we did mention that we were going for the Mr. Johnsons of the D&D world, as in mysterious and shadowy patrons giving adventuring parties jobs.
No, Shadowrun's next week.
Shadowrun's next week. Yes. So we're doing D&D. Yes, for the avoidance of any doubt.
Eberron creator Keith Baker contributed a lot to the book.
That's good.
Jeremy Crawford was the lead.
Okay.
James Wyatt also worked on the book, as did a whole bunch of freelancers.
As is traditional.
And I know that Claudio Posas is at least one person who has art in it, because I tweeted it and he responded, "I have art in this." So.
No, good work, Claudio.
Yeah, but he said it in a Welsh accent.
Oh, good work, Claudio.
He's actually Brazilian.
Hey, good work, Claudio. I don't know.
And where are we? And there's a chapter that's a gazetteer of Sharn.
Okay, that sounds like it will be telling you about Sharn, which I presume is a place.
It does.
In fact, I think it's actually a tower city. I was paying attention, Lee, which is where a lot of it's set. I believe it's a city large enough to have its own weather system.
That was a pretty big city.
Yes. I don't know. I didn't get around all of it. I was just throwing myself off things.
Fair enough.
Yeah, reasons.
Also, Jeremy Crawford added a little bit more detail. He says, Eberron Rising from the Last War has nearly 100 pages on building adventures in Corvair.
Yes.
The continent scarred by the last war.
Yes.
And that chapter includes a first-level adventure in the towering city of Sharn.
Bum, bum, bum.
There we go.
Yeah, good times.
Lots and lots of stuff about Eberron.
Yes. That's quite exciting. New setting.
We should rename this the Eberron News Podcast.
Yes.
Let's not do that.
No, that's a terrible idea.
Yeah, it's an awful idea.
We should rename it the Wizards of Pod. That's much better.
Wizards of Pod. But I suppose we are the Wizards. All right, I'll let us be the Wizards of Pod.
Woo!
I finally, after 63, 64, 67
I know. A number of podcasts.
we are now officially the Wizards of Pod.
Yes. Too late to change branding, but never mind.
Yeah. What have I just agreed to?
Nah.
You know the 5th edition sci-fi game Espergenesis?
Do I ever?
Well, they have just released a monster book called the Threats Database.
How exciting. Full of alien gribblies.
200 sci-fi monsters and NPCs for 5e.
That is a chunky amount of beasties.
Yes, let's look at the cover there.
Yeah, okay, well, that's it's definitely leaning into H.R. Geiger's interpretation of Alien.
That's what I was thinking, yeah.
Yeah.
It's a little Geiger-esque, isn't it?
And with a soupçon of mind flare. That looks like a spicy little number indeed.
Yeah. Okay, that's that anyway.
Good work, Espergenesis. You were working on a sci-fi game, if I remember your Facebook correctly.
I'm not working on it. I posted.
Sci-fi-V, I thought you were going to call it.
Sci-fi, I think it was it? Yeah, I said if I were to make a sci-fi game, I would call it Sci-Fi. And it just ended up with a great big page full of puns.
So many puns.
Just to clarify, I'm not making a 5e sci-fi game.
Official breaking news. Morris of Ian World Publishing denies making a sci-fi supplement for 5e.
I am not doing that.
It was all just a terrible joke gone wrong.
Bit of Warhammer 40k.
Oh, go on then.
Would you like to see the cover of Cubicle 7's revamped version of the book?
Yes, I mean, this is the perfect time to show off that sort of podcasting material.
Yes, I know.
Yeah.
There we go. That's it.
Okay.
It's a gorgeous piece of art.
So you have the fairly standard for 40k diorama of our heroes are stood on a mound of presumably corpses or other high ground whilst being besieged by, it's orcs this time. You have what looks like an apothecary, probably an Adeptus Mechanicus clone. I'm going to say a ganger.
Someone who's very conveniently shooting his flamethrower through the hole in that person's chest.
That's
lucky,
well, it's a bolter, Russ, and I think it's shooting through them. And they have a spiky helmet, so therefore evil. Remember, round helmet's good, spiky helmet's bad.
Is that the rule?
Oh, absolutely. I think think that is that's probably a cycle with a psychic axe, and there's probably some sort of rogue trader going on there as well.
Well, I guess we better put the link in the show notes so people can see it. But they've described it as it's a group of iconic adventurers battling off orcs and chaos cultists in a mission to save the Gilead system.
It's not psychic. It's Audio Malleus. That's a Hammer of Witches Inquisitor who has a thunder hammer to, I don't know, beat up some orcs. And then
we've got a Primaris Intercessor, whatever that is.
Of the I don't know what an intercessor is, that's new on me. The Mysterious Absolvers chapter fires his bolt rifle point blank into a heretic.
We got a minor dynast of a noble rogue trader house.
Yeah, that'd be the chap in the flash coat.
Okay. And we have a tech priest.
Yes. Yeah, kicking around. And that'd be the one over there. The bony one with all the cogs. That's Drowning Hotel. Oh, yeah.
Nice cover, I like it.
Yeah, looks strong.
Yeah. Definitely. Did we cover this one? The guy that pirated stuff?
DM Clockwork Dragon.
Yeah. So he's got a Patreon.
Yes.
And for $1 a month, you can get a whole load of stuff from his That sounds awesome, doesn't it?
That does sound awesome.
Sounds great. Sounds like a really generous guy.
Well, I mean, if I wanted D&D content for a whole $1 a month, I'd probably go and sign up for Ian 5 Ida.
Yes,
or Insider.
Because that's not pirated.
That is not pirated, and I'm funny that way. I actually quite like supporting the creators. Call me old-fashioned, but I don't even make RPGs, people. I just like RPG makers. Anyway, crack on.
Yeah. So this guy who's called DM Clockwork Dragon, his real name's Sebastian McCoy.
Yes.
He's running a Patreon account.
Yes.
And for $1 subscription, you get access to all this material.
Excellent.
But that access material basically contains a whole bunch of copyrighted material from the DM's Guild and Wizards of the Coast.
Yeah.
And there's also stuff from Kobold Press in there as well, I think, and some other companies.
Okay, so DM's Guild is the same as Drive-Thru RPG, but specifically for 5th edition and, well, other editions of Dungeons & Dragons. And you can obtain PDFs there. So people have... This chap's acquired them and then selling them.
Selling them, basically, yeah.
Yeah.
Not only that, he offers bounties of cash or other rewards to people who contribute to the collection.
Right. Anything rather than buy directly from the creator, it seems.
Yeah. But it seems like he just doesn't really understand what he's doing wrong. So basically, the sort of hammer came down a bit. Patreon suspended his account briefly until... I don't think they came down hard enough, but briefly until he removed the copyright material.
Right.
And I'm fairly sure we got a DMCA from Wizards of the Coast. I'm not sure, but I think he did. But he also says that he's under the impression that anything online falls under fair use and Creative Commons licensing. Yes, Clockwork Dragon. Yeah, you know that Star Wars Rise of Skywalker trailer that just came out this morning and is online? Yes, Clockwork Dragon, you now own Star Wars. Well done.
Yeah, good work.
Of course
We're
it does.
impressed. Wait, what? You're saying that if people put stuff on the internet, it doesn't mean that they're saying that you should steal it?
Yeah.
Interesting. Yes, anyway. It's like... if you want it, you can't play. I don't know. Piracy it's a little bit tricky with the digital stuff, maybe, but not really. I don't know. And this is just like it's just basically stealing. And other people are buying it. Weird.
But if you do want 5e content on a Patreon in PDF format every week for about $1, head on over to Insider.
I see.
EN5IDER.
Yes, where you can obtain entirely legal,
yes.
Entirely legal content and support creative types so that they will produce more content. We believe this is described as a win-win situation.
Got some sad news.
Oh no.
Rick Loomis passed away. So he was diagnosed with cancer earlier this year.
Yep.
And over the weekend, I think it was late last week.
Yeah.
He passed away. So Rick Loomis, which you'd probably know from Grimtooth's Traps or the publish. He ran Flying Buffalo Games, which published Tunnels and Trolls.
Yes.
Which was.
It was a competitor for the first edition of Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah, I think when TSR went out of business in the late 90s.
Yep.
Flying Buffalo then officially became the oldest RPG company.
Oh, okay.
So it goes back that far.
That's a honoured and venerable institution.
Yeah, and Tunnels and Trolls is kind of like a lighter, maybe more irreverent take on sort of D&D tropes.
Yeah, I think it's about its 7th edition now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was also one of the founding members of GAMA, the Game Industry Managers
The Game Association Manufacturers Association.
That.
GAMA, them people.
Yeah.
Who have been out in the news for a while now.
Yeah.
We can come back to that later.
So he's one of the proper stalwarts of the industry, a really, really important a founding member of the actual industry.
Would you describe him as a titan of the industry? Yeah, I think that's fair.
Yeah, so it's really, really sad that he passed.
Yeah.
I mean, I've never met him, and
but a fantastic legacy, bringing joy to hundreds, if not thousands, of people.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, it's good stuff.
Yeah. Oh, what else? Ooh,
yes.
We got another data dump from D&D Beyond.
Ooh, exciting.
This is talking about the most common D&D party composition.
Yes.
So, if we ignore parties of 3 for now, because let's go into parties of 4, because that's more common, isn't it?
Okay, yeah.
So, I mean, looking at these figures, they're all sort of like 0.65%, 0.49%. They're all so close as to be almost random, to be honest.
These are less than 1%.
Yeah.
I like the way that they gathered the information, which was that they checked to see which characters' hit points were changing on D&D Beyond, because that's a really good way to tell whether someone's
actually playing.
Yeah. Although, mind you, I've created characters using D&D Beyond, I would generally tend to then print out and use a piece of dead tree because, tablets run out of batteries.
So the top party of 4 compositions at 0.65% each. There's 3 rivaling ones. One is Cleric, Fighter, Rogue, Sorcerer.
Yep.
One is Cleric, Fighter, Rogue, Wizard.
Classic.
One is Barbarian, Druid, Rogue, Sorcerer.
Interesting.
So that's the 3 top combos.
Yeah. So you need like a fighting man.
Yeah. I mean, you can basically see that it's Fighter, Wizard, Rogue, Fighter, Cleric, Rogue, Wizard, Stroke, Sorcerer is pretty much the core.
Yeah. And Cleric / Druid, Barbarian / Fighter.
Yeah. Yeah, sometimes those are switched out. But I mean, they've got lists for parties of 3, parties of 4, parties of 5, going all the way up to parties of 7.
I did notice that fighters were very popular in the parties of 3 and 4, but then in 5 and 6 the barbarians became a bit more popular, but it was hard to tell.
6 fighters still in the top 1, 2, top 2, and in 5, not in the top in number 5, but the second in number 5.
Yeah.
In a party of 5, sorry, I'm not even making sense now. Yeah. I'm barely stringing words together.
Well, nothing's changed there, then, mate. Perhaps you can do a placeholder podcast.
But I think what happens is the larger the group gets, the more likely more obscure classes are going to start creeping in.
And if you start looking at differentiation between the playing groups.
Yeah. If you start looking at parties of sort of like 10 or 12, which I imagine are very, very rare, but I think that's when you're going to start seeing things like gunfighters and the DM's Guild and all that sort of stuff would start creeping in.
I suppose, or just run 2 different games. Or tell someone else, you be the GM.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, in the parties of 4, Warlock doesn't feature at all. If you look at that.
No, I can see that.
Nowhere at all. You got to the parties of 8, they're all over the place.
Yeah. I mean, essentially the Warlock.
Blood Hunters.
A bit of Matt Mercer throwing in there.
Yeah, so, you start to get the less core things.
Yeah. Haven't seen a lot of Monk going on, I must say.
Monk, let's have a look. So, in a party of 4, not a single mention of a monk.
Yeah.
Party of 5, nope.
Stop.
Oh, no, did you see one?
Third, fourth.
Oh, there we go. Yes, okay. One mention of a monk.
Yeah.
Party of 6, 2 mentions of a monk.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it basically increases as the party sizes grow.
I mean, it depends. Like your classic party is like you want a divine spellcaster, an arcane spellcaster, fighting man, rogue to try and open up things. Like travel specialists, basically.
Yeah. Well, obviously, the original party of 4 was your fighter, cleric, magic user, and thief.
Yes.
And largely, this kind of pretty much still holds out, doesn't it?
It's a strong set of choices.
Well, D&D's still kind of designed around that assumption. It's like when you go into a dungeon in D&D, you're gonna have doors which need a rogue,
Yes.
and you're going to need healing by the cleric and all this sort of stuff.
Absolutely.
Like, adventures are basically designed around the assumption that that's what you're
absolutely.
That's what you're doing. All right, what else have we got? We got a new Starfinder adventure path.
Ooh.
It is called Attack of the... Guess what it's the attack of?
Attack of the Clones.
It is not Attack of the Clones. It is Attack of the Swarm, which is totally different to clones in every possible way.
Yes, they are in no way numerous and resembling each other.
Yeah. Well, they're insects, I assume. Yes, the insectile swarm surges.
Yeah.
The ever-ravenous threat. Mm-hmm. They do sound nice, don't they? So this is the first part of the Attack of the Swarm adventure path.
Right.
And the first adventure is called Fate of the Fifth.
Exciting. By Patrick Brennan, I see.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That does look fun. I do like a good swarm. Very, what's it? Starship Troopers.
Oh, yes.
Except these appear to be sort of bipedal laser gun wielding insects rather than...
As opposed to, like, more swarmy types. But,
Yeah.
Why not?
I'm sticking with Paizo.
Take me down to Clandafu City, where the tunnels are tight and the egg-laying things are sticky. Take me down to Clandafu City, where the tunnels are tight and the egg-laying things are sticky. Ooh, won't you take me away, yeah.
Finished.
Second verse. Same first. Oh, sorry, yes, we were saying.
Listen, Pathfinder 2nd Edition Errata.
Ooh.
So the Pathfinder 2 developers took to Twitch,
Yes.
as they do, where they confirmed some errata for the core rules. Not a lot, just a little bit.
Okay. Do they have 10 pages?
No, they have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 items.
Oh, okay.
Well, so far. Anyway.
Considering people keep on telling me about how big the Pathfinder 2nd Edition rulebook is, like I haven't seen it, I'm like, yes, I'm aware it is a large book. It's full of interesting details. So in that incredibly detailed book, there were, 8, did we say?
Well, so far.
Yeah.
But they are. I'll whip through them really quick.
Yes.
So humans are supposed to have one more language.
Right.
Proficiency in simple weapons is also what your proficiency in unarmed should be, including the wizard.
Yes.
Key spells cue off wisdom for the monk.
Okay.
Sorcerer's missing a 17th level class feature.
Yes.
Wizards don't get a first level class feat by default. That was a mistake. The Adventurers pack the Adventurers pack is only 1 bulk.
Right.
And heroic recovery takes you to 0 hit points, not 1.
Good to know.
Yeah, that's it. That's the Pathfinder 2 errata so far.
Okay.
Also sticking with Pathfinder 2.
Yes.
If you head on over to Trailseeker, which is also on Patreon and is also non-pirated.
It's also one of your companies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There is a new adventure.
Yes.
And it is called
Yes.
Stranded on Faraway Island. Ooh. And there's also a new ancestry, the Grunk.
The Grunk.
Yes, which is a kind of fungal creature.
Okay. So if you want to be a fun guy to be with, that's one for you.
Yeah.
Hey.
Oh, you're on form today. That's for patreon.com/Trailseeker.
How exciting.
God, we are whipping through this pretty quick, aren't we?
Yeah, that's exciting news.
And you've got a barbecue to get to.
I've got a barbecue to get to, that's true, but I'm also excited.
Shadowrun's 6th World Core Rulebook is finally out.
That would be today, 26th.
Today, yeah.
Yes.
In PDF format only.
Yes. Daryl, try and contain yourself and your excitement.
He's already started work on his review of it.
Fantastic.
Apparently he's got something like 6,000 words of his review already or something, and that's only the notes. So I think his review is going to be actually longer than the book.
Well, hopefully it'll be longer than the errata.
Well, that 10 pages of errata
yes.
has been folded into the actual release.
Marvellous.
So this should, in theory, be an errata or a near errata-free release.
Okay. And think how valuable the first edition copies will be that were released, the first run of the 6th edition copies that were released at Gen Con will be. It'll be like the Penny Black, where it had like an upside down printed plane.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'll be like spot the deliberate mistake. There you go.
Hello, your editor Daryl here with a quick update. After the show was recorded, Catalyst announced details for the print release. The hardcover rulebook will be $49.99 with a limited edition alternate cover for $99.99 and a special executive edition for $199.99. However, I have confirmed with line editor Jason Hardy that the print versions for the first printing will not include the errata. The errata is included in the PDF version only. It appears that the Gen Con print run and the mass market release print run were in fact the same print run, just Catalyst had some of the books airshipped in specifically for Gen Con. It's unknown yet when any future printings will happen that will be able to include the new errata.
Yeah.
I'm being positive. Leave me alone.
Well, Daryl will be coming on the podcast next week to talk all about Shadowrun.
Huzzah!
That'll be exciting.
That will be
It
exciting.
will be exciting. I
Yeah.
suppose we should probably get a copy of it.
We probably should.
Yeah. Jim Ward
Yes.
has written another column.
Ooh.
He's talking about the origins of Monty Hall. As in, you're familiar with the term Monty Hall games?
I am, yes.
Yeah, basically how it was coined by Gary Gygax when Jim Ward himself, he apparently really enjoyed giving out treasure. He really liked seeing the expressions on people's faces when he gave out lots of treasure, so he just kept giving out lots of treasure. And he figured, well, it doesn't really matter. If they get more powerful, I'll just make the challenges more powerful.
I'll make the monsters bigger.
Yeah, I can handle it.
I have an infinite number of ancient red dragons in my back pocket.
Yeah.
What you gonna do?
Gary Gygax coined the term. It's a Price is Right Monty Hall style DM is what he called him.
That sounds very complimentary. I'm sure that's how he meant it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Of course he did. Go on.
Fantasy Flight Games have announced a new sourcebook and adventure for Legend of the Five Rings.
Ooh.
The sourcebook is called Path of Waves, and the adventure is called Sins of Regret.
So 2019 is the year that all the aquatic source books were released?
Well, Path of Waves focuses on Ronin, which are, like masterless samurai,
Yes.
commoners and gaijin, foreigners.
Yes.
And Sins of Regret ties into the new source book. Let's have a look. The village of Twin Blessings has ironically fallen on hard times due to an imbalance of elements and seek an intermediary to voice their concerns to Lord Jikai in the closed shell castle.
Oh, I can see the feng shui upset going in and going, oh, mate, you've got unbalanced elements.
Yeah.
It's going to cost you.
Yeah. That's about it. That's it for the news.
Hello.
We've done the news. We whipped through the news in a record time. I am really impressed with how quickly we whipped through the news.
So it turns out that when I'm in some way focused and motivated, then I can actually talk quite quickly and relevantly about things like news. Huh, who knew?
Okay, it's time for our awesome Sandbox Cross with Player Narrative campaign. So in this campaign, you'll be free to go where you want, do what you want, and much of the narrative is in your hands. But beware, if you stumble into areas too dangerous for you, on your own head be it.
Oh, fantastic. My last DM was a bit too railroady for my tastes. Okay, I'm ready. I'm excited to explore this vast open world.
Right, let's begin. Right, what do you want to do?
Well, where am I?
Where do you want to be?
Is there a big city?
Yep, if you want one. What would you like it to be called?
You want me to name it? Okay. It's called Alabantoria, the shining city on the hill.
Flashy, an excellent choice.
Okay, can I be there then?
Yeah, sure. In my Sandbox campaign, I don't prescribe any course of action for you.
Oh, sweet. So, what now?
Well, what do you want to do?
I don't know. What can I see?
Oh, city stuff, shops, roads, people, that sort of thing.
Right. I'll go into shop. What sort of shop is it?
I would not deign to dictate such a thing. You tell me. I'm big on player narrative,
I'm beginning to see that. Fine. It's a general store for adventurers.
And what's it called?
General store?
Huh. Well, if you insist.
I'm not 100% sure you've got the hang of this player narrative sandbox stuff.
Do no fear. I know exactly what I'm doing. Now, what do you want to do in the general store?
I'd like to buy some adventuring provisions.
Very well. What would you like to buy?
Well, what's available?
Well, what's available?
That's what I said.
That's what you said.
What? Oh, I'm so confused.
It's up to you what's in here.
Seriously? Okay, I'm getting the picture. So I, the player, am in command of the narrative, right?
Right.
That's
what I said.
Okay, in that case, I'll take a +19 Holy Avenger, Iron Man suit, and a Batmobile.
That's not really very genre appropriate. And that lot would cost you millions.
They're having a sale.
Okay.
In my new kit, I'm going to drive out to the nearest Goblin Cave.
This isn't going quite how I planned it.
Planned it? I thought you said this was a sandbox, player-driven campaign.
Yeah, but that's not quite what I meant.
Look, are you committed to this concept or not?
I guess.
Good. In that case, you go and make the tea. You're not really needed here. I'll carry on with the adventure.
Fine. You have hoisted me by my own petard, sir. I see the error of my ways now. How would you like your tea?
You tell me. How do I like my tea?
What?
What?
That's what I said.
It's up to you. How do I like my tea?
This is getting too self-referential even for me. Who wrote this sketch anyway?
Who do you want to have written this sketch?
Whoever it was, they really didn't understand the basic concepts of sandbox campaigns or player narrative-driven systems, did they?
Evidently. Shall we just play a railroad campaign? Seems less confusing.
I think that's wise. Okay, are you comfortable? I have this 900-page manuscript which describes everything that happens to your character. At the end, you'll be 20th level.
Ugh. Whoever wrote this sketch should be fired. Out of a cannon.
Hello, everybody. Thank you so much for listening to our podcast. We just wanted to mention our Patreon. Peter, are you familiar with our Patreon?
Oh, is it patreon.com/Morris?
Yes.
MORRUS.
At patreon.com/Morris, you can find our Patreon, which is what pays for our podcast and buys us all these wonderful microphones and mixers and other little bits and pieces.
And wires. So many wires.
And all these wires. We have a load of wonderful Patreon backers at the moment. And those backers get...
We cherish you all.
Yes, we do cherish them very much. And those backers get bonus content every single week, just as a thank you for backing our Patreon.
And because they're so awesome and so quick off the mark, they also get to talk to us in our Discord channel, which is pretty good. And we'll sometimes even deign to answer that. But even more importantly, when we have guests coming onto the show, they have the opportunity to ask questions of those guests. And then we will pass on the questions that we think our guests will answer.
So please, if you do enjoy the podcast, head on over to patreon.com/Morris. Link will be in the show notes.
Yes.
And support us, even with just $1 a month. Every little bit helps.
Okay. So the traditional and ceremonial weighing of the book. We have both the Pathfinder core rulebook and we have got the Pathfinder BESTiary. Which one do you want to weigh first?
I think we should do the core rulebook first. It looks amazing.
Okay. All right then.
It is a tome of
Lift
knowledge.
it. It's so heavy.
All right, we'll get the crane over here. All right, let's do it.
Do we do it in grams? We did it in grams, didn't we?
We'll do it in grams.
Okay. And we are weighing the book.
Weighing the book. Whoa.
Wow. 2.052 kilograms. Wow.
Yep.
That's pretty heavy. And how do we switch that to pounds? In pounds, that's 4 pounds.
Stop poking the thing.
Oh.
Thank you. 4 pounds.
That's what she said.
8 ounces. Ooh, I misses. 4 pounds, 8 3/8 ounces.
Yes.
There we go.
I mean, there's nearly a £5 book there.
Yep.
That weighs more than a battle axe.
Does it?
I'm sure I saw somewhere a battle axe that was £4. I can't remember what game it was in. Was it D&D?
Well, to be fair, that weighs nearly as much as many of the light melee weapons. So, there you go. The Pathfinder core rulebook, we're saying it's going all the way up from D4 damage to D6 damage on weight alone.
Okay, BESTiary. I'll let you do the BESTiary then.
Okay, well, yeah. Oh, what's into it? Poof. Give it a poke.
Ooh.
Let's try and zero the scales again. Bonk. Okay, so zeroing the scales.
There we go.
There we go. So we've got in grams first.
Pathfinder BESTiary weighs.
Ooh, a stonking 1.24 kilograms. That's nearly 1.125 kilos. It's very impressive.
And in pounds?
Rocking in at £2, 11 7/8 ounces.
Wow. Well, there we go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Any variations are entirely due to...
What about... So those people that want the whole Pathfinder set together... This is where we find that together they don't weigh the same as the two numbers.
Yeah. So together it's...
Let's stick it 1 kilogram. So there we go. So 3.2... Basically 3.3 kilograms.
Shy 2 grams, yeah. It's pretty good. And then £7, 4.25 ounces.
Wow. That's pretty heavy.
That is pretty heavy.
Yeah. Imagine lugging that to your gaming group.
Oh, a future...
And that's not counting any adventure paths or dice or screens.
Oh, yeah. All that stuff's going way up, yeah.
You get fit.
Yeah, well, or you get back problems.
One of the two.
Why not both? Hey! That's what Zoidberg says.
Yeah. Right.
Yes.
Should we have a look at this bestiary then?
Oh, go on.
What do you
I think it's best if we do.
All right then. So, Pathfinder bestiary.
Yes. It's a lovely book again. I mean, they've really been bringing out the things. I like the side bits where it's largely in alphabetical order, and they have the similar sort of on there. What do you call this bit here, Russ?
Not side nav? I don't know.
Yeah, it's like got a navigation bar on the side, which lets you see roughly which part of the book you're in, A to C and so forth. And when you look at it from the side on, you can actually see where those parts are, which lets you zoom straight to from Ape to Wendigo in one easy, swift movement.
Yeah. It's I know a lot of people sort of like bring out this whole Pathfinder's copying X or Y or Z.
Yeah.
And two of the things that they do tend to trot out, and I don't think it is copying either of these things, is 5e and 4e for different reasons.
Yeah.
But I think if it were to have things in common with 4e, I think this bestiary is probably where you probably find hints of that. Which I think is a good thing, because I think one of the things 4e did really, really well was its monster design.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. I mean, I hear it was... I never actually got to run 4e, but I hear it's very easy to create encounters that way.
Yeah, although one thing that was really good about a 4e monster was not only was everything quite interesting and varied and it was exception based, but everything you needed was on the page in the stat block.
Yes.
So if you open this up and you pick up I'm just picking up a random monster here. So this is a stone mauler.
A stone mauler.
A stone mauler. Totally randomly picked.
Yeah.
There's going to be a whole bunch of sort of keywords, and there's going to be a whole bunch of various bits and pieces that you're going to have to refer elsewhere for.
Well, yes, but I don't know. It's got... I said, though, probably the main thing would be Earthglide. It refers you to the Sodhound, which is just across the way. Earthglide lets you burrow through any earthen matter, including rock.
This is what you could. Well, for example, they've got here, like in the Lich, a frightful presence, aura, emotion, fear, mental. I mean, those keywords all mean something, but you have to... hit points 190, negative healing, rejuvenation. All these things you have to refer elsewhere to know exactly what they mean.
Well, those are in the main game itself for the keywords.
Yeah, sure. No, I understand. They are somewhere that you can look up. I'm just saying that you do have to look up.
And if I can borrow it, because I was having a look through a copy I've acquired. So if I'm correct, and hopefully I am, yeah, let's just pass zombies. F is for frightful presence. It has like a little thing at the back. Creature that first enters your aura must attempt to save.
My point was, though, that in 4e everything would be in that stat.
Oh, yes. So you don't have to cross-refer to it.
Yeah. I mean, it's only a little thing, but it just saves, it saves a little bit of time. But other than that, that is basically my only really big criticism of Pathfinder 2e at all. And I said that before with the core rule book. There's lots of keywords and stuff that you have.
So many keywords.
Yeah, but other than that, let's just move on from the keyword focused section of the podcast.
Shall we do a blistering section of facts?
Yes, let's do some facts. Let's do some facts about the Pathfinder bestiary.
Yes. Well, in the bestiary, it has 414 entries.
Wow. So how much does each one weigh?
I didn't. Well, I think in the case of a cave troll, it's like £4,000 at least. But yeah, but of this, that you've got things like, say, 30 dragons with another 12 related drakes, and the creatures go from 14 negative ones all the way up to 125. But there's no 22, 23, or 24.
Yes, I noticed that too.
Yeah, there are 18 types of creature, including animals, beasts, astral, celestial, fungus, and plant. With something like 30 aberrations, 32 undead, but there's only one astral and one ethereal creature. There's 3 fungi, 11 plants, and 4 oozes. There are 12 celestials and 9 what they call monitors, which upon further investigation were eons, which appear to be beings from, I guess, a plane involving law. It's, I'll be honest, I did read lots of the words and was confused by them. Looking back to the core rulebook, when you're constructing an encounter, you can have 4 levels below and 4 levels above, and the system's supposed to be designed for that. The widest range of possible encounters, I reckoned, was at level 3, -1 to 7, which gives you 265 possible monsters you could fight.
Ooh, at once.
That would probably go above the severe to maybe the extreme XP budgeting. What you would probably fight has a party of 4 characters for moderate difficulty is, say, 8 goblin warriors or 8 animated brooms.
8 animated brooms.
Yes, these being -1 creatures. So, you're replaying Fantasia. Mickey would need at least 3 mates to be able to fight all those dudes.
It's Harry Potter gone mad.
Oh, absolutely.
It's like the worst Quidditch match ever.
Yeah, whereas a moderate encounter for 4 level 15 party is 8 cloud giants or stone golems. So it's like, that's 2 each. And of course, if you're at level 20, 4 ancient black dragons are, and I quote, a trivial threat for characters. They essentially have no chance of losing. That's what it says in the rulebook. I don't know. That's it. 1 ancient black dragon per person, even at level 20, seems like a big fight. But you know what? You'd require 2 black dragons each to be a challenge. And when you get to 3, then, it's like, there you are. You burst in with your, 3 mates. You're, alright, so Rogue, you've got 3 dudes. I'm a fighter. I've got 3 of them. Wizard, you got another 3. Cleric, you got another 3. And there you go. That'll be a moderate fight where we probably shouldn't lose if we play our resources
I would
carefully.
hate to go into that dungeon room with 12
ancient black dragons. Yeah, you're probably going to the plane of ancient black dragon at this point. This is your mosh before you go and meet Tiamat and say, hey Tiamat, what are you doing here? You don't belong in Galarian, you belong in Faerun.
Any more stats for us?
But a level 3 party would have to defeat about 100 goblins, which at around about 8 per encounter is approximately 13 battles, which is at moderate difficulty, so they could also fight 13 battles with single trolls for the same effect.
Well,
a level 15 party is looking for about 100 of those stone golems or 13 ancient green dragons.
Blimey.
Yeah, so there you go. That's just using the thing. Humanoids, they range from levels -1 to 7, which is all the way from goblin to a Medusa. Animals, on the other hand, range from -1 to 15. The largest animal being a CR15 azure worm. The more familiar purple worm only clocking at CR13.
I've got some vague stats and stuff as well.
Oh, yeah. Tell us more.
Okay, so...
Tell us about the best of the bestiary.
Well, the original Pathfinder had 5 bestiaries.
Wow. That's a lot of bestiaries.
If you estimate about 300 monsters in each,
okay,
and that's about 1,500 monsters,
okay,
and that's not counting ones that aren't in the bestiaries because they have them in their adventure paths and they have them.
Right.
So I reckon there's probably a good 2,500, maybe even 3,000 Pathfinder 1 monsters.
That is a lot of gribbly.
You could probably look that up somewhere online, but that's a complete guess. But that's what I think it would be. Now, interestingly, this one has how many did you say?
414.
So out of that sort of 3,000 odd, this is the 414
that
they've selected because it's not just like a reprint of the Pathfinder 1 bestiary.
Exactly.
It's got different monsters in it.
Yes.
So they've selected the ones over a 10-year period which are basically the most representative of Pathfinder for them.
All the ones that they think will be most useful.
Yeah. So
they've gone for about just under 25%.
Yeah. You notice the Trask is not in there.
Indeed. Why not?
So I don't know why, but it's not.
No. What do you have instead?
The most challenging thing is the tree raiser, but let's get onto that in a sec.
Okay, yeah.
Because I noticed that a lot of creatures have their names now changed.
Oh yes, yeah.
Which I thought was interesting. So the Sahwagin,
yes,
they are now called the Sea Devils.
That does make them easy to pronounce.
Very Doctor Who, that.
Yes.
I wonder if Eric Mona had anything to do with that, because I know he's a big Doctor Who fan. They still mention Sahwagin in the fluff text.
Okay.
So it's not like the names are gone, but they've been sort of deprioritised, and they sort of say they're technically called the Sahwagin, but they're referred to as Sea Devils.
Well, yeah. I mean, to be fair, it's going to be much easier to pronounce Sea Devils.
Yeah. So Aboleths, they're now Algolthu Masters.
Oh, yeah. Algolthu. I was thinking when I first saw that it'd be some sort of undead, because the Arabic word for ghoul is Algol, and I was thinking it's some portmanteau of Algol and Cthulhu for Algolthu, but no, apparently it's Aboleth, but yeah, it's not entirely wrong.
Well, they've got the Algolthu as a whole category of basically sea creatures.
They do. They're proper deep sea lurking
tentacly things.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Tree ants.
Treants?
which were once called ents,
Yes.
then became tree ants,
Yes.
and now called arboreals.
Yes.
And this is a theme that goes on quite a bit. I won't list them all, but I reckon there's quite a smattering of monsters in there that have
Yep.
basically had their names changed.
Okay.
Don't know why. I think my suspicion is they're trying to like steer a little bit away from the sort of typical D&D names, and they will try and start making their own brand a bit. I think
Exciting.
that would be my guess.
Yeah. Who knows?
No bear owl though. It's an owl bear. They should have taken that opportunity to rename it the Bear Owl,
Perhaps they couldn't best change its name.
like all the cool kids do.
Yeah. Perhaps the thought of changing its name gave them a pause.
Oh dear.
Sorry, these jokes are just going to get Ursa and Ursa.
So what I thought, this is kind of the best of the bestiary.
Hey!
But when I say best, I don't mean best as in... I mean best as in best in class.
Oh, okay, yes, best in class.
So
it's basically Crufts, but for more horrible things.
yes. So we'll start
Yes.
with the obvious and easiest one to look up and decide.
Yes, yes.
Because there's no debate over this one. It's just what's the most challenging creature.
Oh, yeah,
most
okay.
challenging is,
Yes.
and we know that,
The Tree Razor.
the Tree Razor at CR 25. They don't call it CR anymore. Level 25.
Yes, Creature 25, maybe.
Yep. That's 4 higher than the next lowest, which... Because you get around about 20, you get your Pit Fiends, your Baylors, you get your Ancient Red and Gold Dragons.
Yep.
They're all in the sort of 19, 20, 21 kind of area. And then there's a gap.
Yes.
And then you've got Tree Razor up at 25, by far the most powerful monster in this book.
Well, I mean, it might be slight spoilers, but it's going to be a while before we get there. Just to say that Tree Razor is absolutely massive. Gets their own page. There appears to be some sort of, what's it? It's a dragon, a fiend. It's a fiendish dragon. It's like big. It's really big. How big is this?
It's the
Huge.
a powerful demon.
Yes.
What's it say? I can't read that from here.
Tree Razor, self-styled Lord of the Blasted Tarn, is a powerful demon on the cusp of ascending to the true power of one of the rulers of the Abyss itself, a demon lord. For now, even to the nascent demon lord, Tree Razor is a dangerous foe.
So this is an individual creature. It's
Yes.
not a type.
No, it's true.
And it says it's below demon lords, and they haven't got any demon lords in here.
Okay.
Really.
CR30 awaits.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, so the highest demons and devils and stuff, it goes to like the Pit Fiends and your Baylors.
Yep. I will say this chap's got a stat block which takes up most of a page, and his weapon has its own stat block.
We have most complex creature
Oh.
later in the. I have a little list of a few creatures which are in competition for that title.
Oh, nice.
We'll get to that in a sec.
Can I put one in for most misleading picture?
Sure.
The
Most misleading picture. The award goes to...
The Velociraptor. The description of it says it's 1.5 foot tall and 7 foot long. And definitely having a look at said Velociraptor, it looks like a perfectly jolly little murder chicken. STV or vampire.
Page 96.
Page 96. Oh, because it's a dinosaur. Yes. Yeah, you do have to check the index to
Do you
find
wonder
it.
why I knew that offhand?
Why's that?
Because Velociraptor wins another award in a minute, and I've got it noted.
Oh, fantastic.
So Velociraptor, so there he is.
Oh, look at it. Little papa murder chicken.
So I'll say he's also won cutest.
He's the cutest. Yes.
He's definitely the cutest monster in this book.
Yes, creature 1. I think you should make sure all your Velociraptors are canonically purple and like to hide from the party. Make little chirping
So he's
noises.
chicken-sized. He's
Yes.
multicoloured with stripes and feathers.
Well, he's small. He's 1.5 foot. Well, he looks like he should be a chicken size. You look like you should be able to, if you're very brave or wearing full plate armour, be able to pick him up and give him little woos.
I want one.
Maybe give his little tummy a rub. Oh,
Yeah.
look at him. But no, he's 1.5 foot tall, which is a good 18 inches, and 7 foot long, of which I can only
That's the
see.
tail.
Yeah.
Well, you can't see it. It goes off the page. So
The
it comes out to here.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's a ridiculous tail. I don't know. Maybe
How
it's a
dare
peacock
you,
thing.
Velociraptor, with your ridiculous triumph. I mock you. I take back your award for cutest monster.
You can't look at his little face. Anyway, sorry.
This deceptive tail.
It's a feathery little Velociraptor they've got there.
Okay. Would you like to see the silliest monster?
I'd love to see the silliest monster.
It's on page 16. It's called the Cassissian.
That's a helmet with wings.
It is a helmet with... And we're not just talking like little sort of Viking helmet wings.
No.
We're talking full-fledged, giant, flapping, feathered wings.
It's like a winged helmet, guys.
His helmet flaps around.
So imagine like an angel's wings, but instead of being on the back of someone, it's like coming out of where the ears should be, and you've got vaguely going, okay, that's pretty stupid. I gotta say.
That's the silliest monster. With animated broom coming up as the runner-up.
Oh, well, let's not forget they can change shape as well into a dog, or maybe even a fish. Mm-hmm. So what's that to do so it can land and change into a haddock so you can slap your players with it? I just don't know.
Anyway. Next category.
Yes?
Most likely to cause double vision.
Oh, yes. What's that one?
This is on page 10. It's the pleroma.
The pleroma. Bless you. Pleroma.
There he is.
Pleroma. Oh, yeah.
Look at him. You look at him and you can basically see the entire universe.
Oh, well, I don't know. That's clearly coded as a feminine figure, if you ask me. But yes, that's one of these aeons that we talked about earlier, which is basically, yeah, wow, okay, so they're wearing a cloak, and on the inside of the cloak is a nebula on Starfield. Yeah.
That's also a hell of a stat block as well.
Yeah. It's level 20. It's creature 20.
It's a very powerful creature, yeah.
And that's taking up some quite some space. I had one for the silliest name. Mm-hmm. I was tied on this one. Okay. It was either the Galbrizu or the gazebo, as I like to call it.
Galbrizu, yeah.
Yeah. Or the Dinosuchus.
Or the what?
You heard me. The Dinosuchus.
Dinosuchus.
Yeah, the Dinosuchus. It's basically
Dinosuchus. No,
Dinosuchus.
No, don't.
Let me show you a picture, my friend. So basically, you've got a crocodile, and then you have the Dinosuchus, which is basically a primeval relative of the crocodile.
Hmm.
Yeah. It catches and eats dinosaurs and players that wander too close. Creature 9, it's, pretty big. Aquatic ambush. It will leap out 50 foot using its 15-foot reach and give you a good biting.
Okay.
Yeah. Swallow whole means that anything that's smaller than a horse will get chomped down, receive 2d8 plus 7 bludgeoning per turn, and will need to do 18 in a single attack using only light weapons to get out.
Nasty.
Yeah. Don't get eaten by one of them. That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
Yes.
Most like King Kong.
Is it the ape?
It's the Mega Primus on page 23.
The Mega Primus on page 23?
Yes, the giant ape.
Okay. Let's have a quick look. See if this
I don't think there's any other contender for this award.
Yeah.
He is definitely the most like King Kong. I don't think you can argue with that one.
Oh, yeah. The Gigantopithecus.
No, that's a different one. It's great. Mega Primus.
I see. Oh, I see. Oh, I see. So, and then what I quite like is it gives you the stats for gorilla, and then you can also get things like if you don't like your gorilla, you think gorilla's a bit weak, then you can have a Gigantopithecus, which are basically bigger gorillas, level 4, with stats roughly akin.
So they've got all these random sidebars.
Yes.
And some of them are sort of like little mechanic changes. Some of them are fluff, text. Yes. There's different types of ones. Yes. Some of them are just additional information. Some of them are referring to other creatures and things like that. So that I do find quite cool.
Yeah.
These little sidebars that just sprinkle throughout the book with sort of extra information.
Yes, and the Mega Primus is 40 foot, carrying over most giants, and is used to being the top tier predator in the region. Yeah, size gargantuan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, my next one might be disputed.
Almost certainly.
Is most boosted from Pathfinder 1.
Okay. So what's that?
The Banshee on page 34.
Okay.
Think about D&D. How powerful is a Banshee in D&D?
Quite good. If you fail the Constitution stage, you drop 0 hit points when it's screams.
Oh, I mean, what sort of challenge?
4, something like that.
Right. Now, look at this one.
Oh, okay.
17.
Yes. Creature 17.
It's super powerful.
Yeah, the Banshee came to wreck your brain all... Well, that's about it, really.
It used to be like 13 or 14 in Pathfinder 1.
Right.
It was still very powerful.
Yeah,
much more powerful than a D&D one, but it's still...
Yeah, this one's like, wow, okay. What makes it... Oh, okay. So, Terrifying Touch. You must attempt a DC 38 will save.
I have a Terrifying Touch.
DC 38. No! Back! Don't touch me, I'm very important. DC 43 if the attack was a critical, which means it succeeds by 10 or more.
Mm-hmm.
If a creature fails its save, it's frightened 2. And oh, yeah. Okay. Here we are, Whale. The soul-chilling whale of Banshee, DC 38. Overcoming silence.
So if the Banshee's got a whale...
Yes.
So the Banshees live in the water, do they?
That's the only possible conclusion. Either that or just...
Do they ride this whale?
Yes, I believe what they do is they summon the whale, it appears above you and then lands on you, splashing you flat.
That would ruin your day.
That would ruin your day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No wonder it's a CR17 creature. I get it now.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, dropping a blue whale on you.
Well, as long as it's not dropping a biomile on you, which is just on the opposite page. It's like, what's that? Two-headed murder turtle?
Oh, yeah.
Two-headed gargantuan murder turtle.
They should have called it the two-headed murder turtle. It's a much better name. All right, ugliest creature.
Ugliest creature. Oh,
right. This one can be disputed because there's a lot of demons and stuff in there which are ugly as hell, and there's a lot of like gibbering mouthers and slimes and oozes.
Yes.
But I went for the cockatrice on page 66.
Page 66. Oh yes. Oh dear.
He's quite ugly, isn't he?
Oh dearie me. How best to describe this? So you basically got like a cockerel that you crossed with a turkey, and you gave it the beak of a toucan, but you decided, hey, you know what? This toucan needs
little dragon wings there.
Needs teeth, and it's got
it's the face that's really ugly, though. It's just
it's like wrinkly and nasty. It's got bat wings.
Mm.
Yeah. I mean, there's no doubt that what you've got going on there is pretty awkward. Although, if you have a sufficiently large bag of weasels and ferrets, you can throw it at the cockatrice and terrify it and get it.
So why I went for that one is because while there are other more disgusting looking creatures and stuff, they're all kind of just more monstrous. Whereas that one, I just think, doesn't look monstrous, it just looks ugly.
Yeah.
It just looks like a really, really, really ugly chicken.
Oh.
Whereas like some kind of gibbering mouther or something like that, it's like, it's just a... Yeah.
There we stand, really.
Yeah.
I thought the best call on art design went to the drow.
Okay.
Yes, they're lavender skinned with white hair.
Oh, yeah, I saw that. It's interesting because the drow in Pathfinder, obviously drow came from D&D.
Yes.
And they're very, very strongly associated with D&D.
Yes.
So Pathfinder's had to put its own mark on it a bit.
Yes.
I mean, the lavender skin aside, that's just I think a good choice to make.
Yeah.
But they've had to change the backstory a little bit too.
Oh.
So they don't put, they can't use lols.
Good.
So apparently each drow house worships a different demon lord.
Okay, well, that gives them some variety.
It's still a generally matriarchal society, so it's not that different, and they still have the driders and all that sort of stuff. It's not a complete rewrite, but they've kind of divorced it a bit from the D&D. I don't know how far back into Pathfinder lore this goes.
Oh.
If we picked up a Pathfinder 1 BESTiary, would it say the same? I don't know.
Perhaps one of our amazing listeners will be able to tell us, because we know nothing.
Someone tweet at me. Or not. One of those two things.
Yeah, at Morris.
Yeah.
You could do that. Or you could come onto the Discord channel.
Or that.
Yeah. It's in the podcast channel.
Yeah.
So, or you could even join the Facebook group and say lovely things to us there.
Right, scariest monster.
Oh, I don't know.
So I've got different categories for scariest and creepiest.
Interesting.
Just because I felt they were slightly different.
Yeah.
So for scariest, page 197, the Grim Reaper.
The Grim Reaper. Let's have a quick look at the Grim Reaper.
He's nasty.
Gremlins. Pugwampy.
This guy, if he kills you, you can't come back. No resurrection, none of that stuff.
Oh,
it's permanent. He's CR21.
Yeah.
And basically, if you meet him, you are toast.
Yeah. Final death. A creature killed by the Grim Reaper can't be brought back to life by any means short of divine intervention.
No, he is pretty hardcore.
Yeah, I mean, you might have one of the lesser deaths, I presume.
What the hell is a lesser death? It's just like a snooze or something.
No, it's like a rat with a scythe. Squeak.
Yes. God, that's going back a bit. I haven't read that in years.
Yeah, and that, I think, does not kill you just by giving you a look. Although it is quite fast and quite scary. So, so basically they are much the same as the Grim Reaper, but smaller. So great way to worry players who've been looking at Pathfinder BESTiary. Who's next?
Creepiest.
I've
got two. Couldn't choose between these two.
Okay.
So number one,
yes,
page 273, the Quellant.
Okay, is this like an ent but for quail eggs?
No.
Ugh.
It's quite a creepy little thing, isn't it?
Oh.
Well, big thing. How big is it? It's large. Yeah. So it's got 3 legs.
Yes.
It's like grey and featureless with a blank face.
It does have trifold. It has a certain amount of trifold symmetry, but it's got a humanoid body with a blanked out face.
And it's like totally smooth and grey, and it's got 3-toed tripod feet. Pretty creepy.
Yes. The only known autopsy of a Calant resulted in the researcher's suicide just days afterwards, and all notes were mysteriously destroyed. So it's basically, if you want to play a secure containment protocol, this is your go-to Gribbly. Yeah, CR15.
Yeah.
Feeds an emotion, spirals to
I'll let you make the call, which is creepy, yeah?
Okay, that's pretty creepy. It's good standards.
Page 183, the Gogitef.
183, the Gogitef. Yeah.
That's horrible, isn't it?
That's pretty grim. What's that? It sort of looks like a peacock and a spider had some sort of terrible, terrible baby.
What does it say? It says teeth, eyes, and hairy spider-like legs. It's got lots and lots and lots of eyes all over it.
Yeah, and quite human teeth, which is an interesting choice.
Gross.
Yeah, they haunt the lowest reaches of the Darklands. The perfect holiday destination. They're rarely seen alone. So there you go, Gogitefs like friends. They make a clacking sound as they move about. Their joints and their main legs pop and crack with each movement. I'm sure that's something that we can relate to, isn't it, Russ? Joints popping and cracking with every movement.
Give us a few more years.
Oh, well, maybe just me then, okay. Oh, wow, they come by the 24, which in no way endears them to me.
So which one of those is the creepiest? You got to make a call. The Quellant or the Gogitef?
I'm going to say the Gogitef is more disgusting, largely based on this picture of it. I don't know what it's eating. Something. It's a messy eater. But I will say the Quellant is a bit more mysterious. And a
creepier.
Bit more, yeah.
Fair enough.
That's creepier.
Okay.
That's got the Thin Man quality I look for in my creepy monsters.
So, Mr. Quellant, the award goes to you for creepiest monster.
Hooray!
Most complicated monster.
Oh, yes.
So, this I basically went by length of stat block. Pretty much.
Excellent choice, yes.
So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 of them.
Okay.
Which were a rival for second place.
Ooh.
Each with like a 1 1/4 page stat block.
Nice.
And they were the Pleroma, which was that one that we talked about earlier, where you could see like the universe in him. The Succubus.
Ooh, yes.
The Pitch Fiend.
Okay.
And the Demolich.
Ooh.
So each of those has a really long stat block, 1 1/4 pages. But the winner,
yes,
is the Vampire Mastermind.
Oh.
Because not only does it have a really, really long stat block,
yes,
you also have to refer back to a separate list, a page-long page of things that all vampires have.
Oh.
So, in total, the Vampire Mastermind, page 321, is the most complicated creature. So that's the basic stat block. So
full page.
So it's full page himself, and then you turn back, and then you've got a full 2 pages here, which refer to all vampires. So he's 3 pages in total.
So he's got his basic vampire abilities and his true vampire abilities, and of course you can create vampires as well. Nice. Yeah.
Okay.
Vampires and vampire.
Yeah.
Yeah, good stuff.
Okay. My final category. So if you've got any more, but mine is grossest. Yes. Grossest monster.
Go on.
Grossest monster.
Yes.
On page 251 is the Offalf. This is a sewer living shit monster. It's a monster made of shit. It's a shit monster. Not saying it's a shit monster, it's a shit monster.
Well, it's a creature 10, so it's not that bad.
So it lives in sewers, there's living heaps of soggy vegetation, wet detritus, sewage and rubbish. It's a shit monster.
It's basically a fatberg come to life to say, oh, you came to the sewers, did you? That was your first mistake.
That is the grossest monster in this book.
Yes, it's got abilities like Putrid Stench, which is an aura, and Filth Wallow, which gives it a fast
they've avoided
healing.
using the word shit, but they mean shit all the way through there.
Yes, yeah, they're going for detritus, rubbish, cesspit, refuse. They like the vile. Apparently their domains typically overlap with those of Otyughs, who fear Orthalfs. Although Otyughs have been known to band together in order to take one down.
Well, there
we are. A creature so disgusting that not even Otyughs like it. That's pretty good work there.
Well, there we go. That's the best of the BESTiary Awards.
Yeah, we think it's a fine piece of work. Excellent production values. It's got some kobolds on the front. I presume they're kobolds.
Yeah, I think they're kobolds,
yeah. They come in a variety of different colours. And essentially what they're doing is they're doing the usual kobold stuff of saying, hey, look at us, Mr. Troll. Look at us. And then the Hydra behind it's going, dinner already? And the Troll's like, I'm going to eat you little kobolds. And the Hydra's like, That's how I interpret it. Yep.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So you like it overall?
Yeah, I really like it.
Compared to, say, the Monster Manual for D&D, how would you compare it?
easier to navigate this one. The monster manual, there is a certain amount of like lumping, but it's not as consistent.
There's quite a lot of that in. If that by you mean like categories of things. Yeah, there's quite a lot of that in there, which I actually found quite difficult to find some stuff.
Yeah, because I'm looking for things by the first initial.
Yeah, I think you just got to get used to the way it's organised.
Yeah.
See the sidebar here?
Yes.
They've got the various different sidebars. But this one is the Goblin Song.
The Goblin Song.
Goblins chew and goblins bite, goblins cut and goblins fight, stab the dog and cut the horse, goblins eat and take by force. Goblins race and goblins jump, goblins slash and goblins bump, burn the skin and mash the head, goblins here and you be dead. Chase the baby, catch the pup, leave the pup alone, bonk the head to shut it up, bones be cracked, flesh be stewed, we be goblins, you be food.
I see.
Lovely little song there, isn't it?
Yeah, it sounds like a perfect playable race.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
I mean, they've got
charismatic.
that traditional Bezo Goblin art.
Yeah, which is sort of no pupils, glowing red eyes, and
I've never been,
So many
to be
teeth.
honest, that much of a fan of that interpretation of a goblin.
no, me neither.
Visually.
I don't know. I've never really seen
It's
it.
very much associated with the Pathfinder brand, though. So.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, well, there we go. That is the BESTiary.
The best of the BESTiary.
The best of the BESTiary.
Yeah. Well, we shall look forward to reviewing more releases as they come out. Yeah.
That's not really a review, was it?
It's sort of a review.
It's more of a light-hearted glance at it.
We quite liked it. It's got some stuff in it. Like there's monsters.
Well, the thing is, it's a
easy
monster
to
book,
use.
and monster
Yeah.
books are monster books, and
Yeah. You know what you say with this monster book? You say, cool, look at them monsters.
yeah.
And you say, well, we're pretty sure we know what we're going to fight when we get to level 18. There's not that many. Oh, there's still quite a few monsters, though.
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
So it's going to be interesting to see what it's like to use in play, what those stat blocks are really like to use in play, because I know when I did the play test,
Yes.
I found them difficult because I didn't understand the keywords and all this sort of stuff.
Yeah.
And, it turned into quite a lot of looking stuff up.
Yes.
But once you got used to all that,
Yes.
and there aren't that many keywords,
No.
I do exaggerate that, I know that.
You do.
Once you've played the game for a bit, you probably know them all.
Yeah.
It's probably those stat blocks hopefully are super quick to what you can at a glance.
Yeah.
Hopefully. It's just when the keywords are things like deadly and dangerous and fatal and...
Yeah, don't those all basically mean the same thing?
Oh, yeah. Okay. Well, I think we're probably done for the week then, are we?
Oh, sad times.
You can get back to your barbecue now.
Woo!
And I can go to the pub and meet Sharon.
Yay!
Hey!
Happy days. And has you two lying in your slippers and look cute.
Yes, I have a dog on my foot.
Dog on your foot. A dog on your foot. He always goes out with a dog on his foot.
I often have a dog on my foot, don't I, Hudson? You've gone to sleep now. See, you were running around like a mad thing earlier, and now you're poofed out, and now you're just lying there.
The coma of the sleeping dog. Yes. Alright, so we should probably say goodbye.
Yeah, so next week, Shadowrun with Daryl.
Yay!
It'll be fun. Looking at the brand new Shadowrun 6th edition. Is it 6th edition?
Yes,
It is 6th edition, yes.
Yes.
Yeah. And, yeah.
30 years old. 6 editions.
Wow.
Good times.
Blimey. How many editions am I then?
Ooh, 51.
51?
I'm just making up numbers for us. You've got 51 written on the board over there.
Adding entire decades. Right.
Helping.
Thank you, everybody, for listening.
Thanks
I
so
hope you
much.
enjoyed our totally useless review, non-review, not even slightly a review of Pathfinder BESTiary.
It's got all the valuable information, like there are 414 monsters, and where to find them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So until next week with Daryl and Shadowrun, that will be goodbye from me, Russ,
Have a goodbye from me, Peter Coffey, from the Southampton Guild of Roleplayers.
and it's goodbye from Hudson, who's gone to sleep. Bye.
Apparently I now have to read this to you. This is the official podcast of Morris's unofficial tabletop RPG news, which you can find at enworld.org. You can find show notes at morris.podbean.com or wherever you found the podcast. If you feel like they deserve it, you can support the show on Patreon. In return, you will receive exclusive bonus content. Just go to patreon.com/Morris. If you're interested in his babbling nonsense, you can follow at Morris on the Twitter. Send your emails to morrispodcast@gmail.com. Not all of your emails, just the ones you want us to see. That's it. I'm bored now. You can go away. Shoo, off you go. Goodbye. Get out of here.